Alafia. Season's greetings. This is Ialo de Yeyefini on the Ask Yeyefini show for December. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I am back from my month-long vacation, and I have missed everybody because I missed the show the other day. So, yes. So, welcome, everyone, to our Ask Yeyefini show. The show today is very, very, very powerful. Very, very, very powerful. I will be speaking on the things that I learned on my vacation in Rwanda. For some of you may know that I was in Rwanda for 3 weeks, and my life changed completely because I changed my perception of why is it that I went there. And that's usually happens with me, is that I'm always trying to set some agenda as to where and how I'm going to do. And the intention that I set to go to Rwanda was very, very clear in my mind that I was going on a mountain. I was going on a hill because I went to visit my dear friend, One Africa Imakus, uh, Ababio. And I went there with the intention of just really being on a mountain. I haven't been on a mountain in a while. Last year I went on a mountain, but not to the extent of staying there. I just stayed like a couple of hours. I stayed on that mountain for 3 weeks. So I hadn't done that since I was living in Jamaica, and I used to go to Hollywell Mountain. So thank you so much, everyone, for coming and being a part of this tonight. I'm so excited. We're talking about tips and things. Annually in December, I give some ideas as to how we can have a peek at a glance and looking back at the year in moving forward to the new year. So this is going to give us an opportunity to really embrace the things that we're doing. Alafia, for those of you coming in, LaShawn is in here, the first one. Thank you very much for joining. So I am very excited about those things. So we're covering what happened to me in Rwanda, and we're covering how to prepare for the new year. This past year this number 7 year has allowed us and forced us to look at some of the decisions and the things that we have made in our life. This has been a very, very busy year. Number 7 year usually speaks about, not usually, but speaks about going within, connecting to spiritual tools, connecting to spiritual beliefs, spending some time alone, connecting to all of the things that make us feel alive, that we have something or someone greater than us that's inspiring us. This has been a year that busy, busy, busy was the name of the game. This year, we didn't have a minute to sit because it was teaching us and giving us an opportunity to really dig deep into what is it you believe in? Who is it? Why? Why are you where you are? And to do something about it. You can decide to do something about it by just shutting down, going within, and analyzing, do I want to keep doing this? Or do I need new tools, or do I need new people? Or what is it that I need? Or do I need to shift me? So we're getting ready to go into the number 8 year, which is a year of receiving the blessings and the rewards. This is the year of rewards coming up. So in the year of rewards, we're going to find this year an opportunity of us figuring out how can we make a difference in our world, in our perspective, in our perception of life. So I'm speaking about it now, and then I will go into what happened to me, because I guess that it has shifted already for me, giving me a glance, giving me a shadow. And so this year, we were adjusting to a new way of being. That's number 7. Adjusting to what it is that you think you are and who you think you are. We had to review our lives, go through it. So 2024 is going to be a magnifying year, a year that anything positive in your life is going to magnetize. It's going to be huge. The things that are negative will also be very, very magnetic. So this is a big year. Universally, in an 8 year, we are looking at picking the fruits of the things that we did for the past 7 years. So this year we went within, now we're coming out to see, wow, how many apples do we have? How many fruit? How many things have we put in place? And so this is a time for us to look at life in a different perspective, because being big, being huge with an 8 year is saying, what if you could shift what you believe about where you're living? What about you changing the way you look at the world? Is it a time for you to travel? Is it a time for you to buy homes in a different place? Is it a time for you to sell your home and just travel the world on a backpack? With a backpack, not on a backpack, but with a backpack. This is a year for you to say, looking at the world the way it is, there are going to be changes in leadership, in government, in all of the things that we're living in. But more than that is whatever you are facing right now in your life, that's going to be your guiding post. That's going to be the thing that's going to take up most of your time this year, your energy this year. So whatever it is that you're going through, move forward in expanding it, grabbing the positive aspect of it, so that when this 8 year comes in on the 1st of January, because we're using the Roman calendar, when this year comes in on January the 1st, then you are going to then be able to be ready. So take the next few weeks to really give thanks. Look at the things that you have going for yourself. Be your own guru, be your own priestess, be your own guide. Use your own ashe, your own ori, your own head, your own power, your own energy that you came on earth with. Use that to look at whatever is going on in your life. And when you look at it from a place of gratitude, that's when you check in and you receive the grace of God. And the grace of God is knowing that whatever it is that you are involved with, when you find that sense of peace that you don't have to search anymore, and you shift the perception of what it is that you feel is an obstacle, when you shift that, that's the grace. That's the gift that comes to you, is to be calm, to understand, wow, it was hidden in plain sight. The truth of any situation is right there. So this is a year that start thinking in terms of that. 2024 will give us a time to really transform our lives. So anything that you're facing right now is going to transform your life. So look at it from a place where, through gratitude for whatever it is. So if it's an obstacle that you're having, I put out the newsletter, a post on my blog that says, obstacle is not your enemy. It's just an opportunity for spirit, that spirit is using for you to shift what it is that you believe about the obstacle, and then it moves. So that's what we're looking for this year, is you will give yourself is a time, I made myself a note, will give us a time to really transform our lives. So if you're in a place where you don't know what's going on, make that the jump off point. Because 2023 has been a year that's been busy. People have had to really dig deep and face some of their challenges, their obstacles. And this is a time for you to go into deep meditation, so that you'll be able to come out of it looking at it from that kind of bigness, from the bigness that it has. And so when we are stubborn and we're stuck in stubborn beliefs, This makes us look at life from a dark and negative side of perspective, and being pessimistic. So when you're looking at whatever it is that you're going through, stubbornly saying, I know this is it, and I'm going to push through it by myself, and I'm going to be able to overcome it. No, 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 no. That belief keeps you in a negative place of believing that, oh, the world is not big enough, so everything is happening bad for us. What's happening in the world? Can we get through this? Has God forgotten us? Because when we're looking at the news, that is a way to get to distract us and really believe that everything that you're seeing is so, and we become pessimistic, and we become afraid. And once we're feared, then faith is not there. It's hard for you to be faithful when, even to yourself, when you're afraid. You can't even trust your own or your own head. And so when we look at life from a negative, a dark perspective, and look at obstacle as an enemy, you lock yourself away from really receiving a shift in consciousness, and what it is in perception, and what it is that you see. And some of the things that stop us from really moving far forward, besides being stubborn, is having a feeling of entitlement. Because entitlement believes that all rewards are earned and deserved. So if you feel that I've worked this hard, I should be getting this. And the other day I went through one of those low moments while feeling like, oh my God, I should be receiving this because I've worked this hard. And when I'm asking for things, it's not coming. Will it come? And I'm still hesitant. So after all of these years of being constantly working on myself and trying to assist others, I am faced with the same thing because I'm human. And so the entitlement that we have, that we believe that we've earned it, or we've worked hard and we've paid, and we believe that we deserve the best. Entitlement is really, thinly explained, is really selfishness. Because when you feel like you're entitled, that when you say this, that, and the other, people should react like that, that's just being selfish. You're looking at yourself as the provider of their end, and it doesn't work like that. When we are grateful and shift our perspective of what is the obstacle, we easily recognize God's grace. Easily, because it shifts us and what it is that we're telling ourselves. So when we look at the things that you're facing now, hold it as if it was a cup. Put that thing, if it's a challenge with where you're living, if it's a challenge with your job, if it's a challenge with making a decision whether you want to be an entrepreneur right now and you don't have the resources, if it's something with your health, if it's something that has to do with people around you, if it's people, if it's who support you or are not supporting you, this is the time to look at it and see how am I going to use this as a jump start to God's grace. God's grace comes quietly, easily, and that's what I call Obatala. Comes very, very easily. Once you shift and you realize, whoa, I think that I'm entitled to do this, what, and the other. And I have planned from the beginning to the end. And the obstacle comes in our face and let us know, you ain't entitled to nothing. The way things turn out is the way that the universe is trying to let you have a minute to sit and look at who and what you are and where you're going. So that is what happened to me in Rwanda. As I said, I went to Rwanda to go to the party and to just visit my dear friend, Imacus, One Africa, in Rwanda, because I've been planning to go to visit her, because I usually visit her in her other place in Ghana. And so she moved to Rwanda and has invited me and kept telling me, don't keep calling me and telling me you're coming. Call me when you buy your ticket. So that's what I did. I bought the ticket and I called her. And it was so beautiful. I connected with people. I met so many people. I met her best friend. And I was able to connect with Dr. Gigi, who is amazing. I'm a chiropractor that helped me with issues that I have with my back. And so that's what I thought I was going to do, is just enjoy. I was going to go and really connect to some of the things that I knew Rwanda had gone through in 1992. There was the conflict between that was created uh, in Rwanda, where two separate groups who had lived for years in harmony were created by outside forces that came into to to cause a Holocaust, to have people to turn on each other, kill their best friends, kill their relatives, because when people are living in fear and circumstances are created for fear to be the thing that compels them, then you can say something and they will believe it. And so members of the government created a genocide where there would be Hutu people were attacking their brothers and their sisters, and vice versa. And I remember in 1992, we at the temple were pouring libation, asking the ancestors to help, to lessen, to stop, to bring a voice of peace to Rwanda. So I wanted to go there and see and to feel and to connect and to see how people had changed. And then my little piece of prayer may have changed something. I'm always curious that if I do something, I want to see how it, if there is really something that I caused some change. And so I wanted to see that. I wanted to go to the museum. Imakas had told me that the museum there was just a historical masterpiece, in that everything is to remind us how human beings can be so wicked and vicious to each other, and that if we don't have museums and places where we can learn, we will not learn from our mistakes. So I was ready to go there and see that and to feel, and to connect to the people. Well, I got there, and then I wanted to go to Ethiopia because I wanted to connect. Since I was in East Africa, I said, well, let me go two for the price of one. I wanted to go to the lake. There's a beautiful lake there, and so there was a whole lot of things that I wanted to do, and it worked out that it didn't. There were one obstacle after another that stopped me from going. And every morning I would pour my libation as I do. I poured my libation, and I just kept asking Spirit to let this be a trip that I will always remember. Let this be a wonderful time. I didn't ask for what is this trip for, because I already had in my mind, I know what it was for. And I just wanted to connect the Spirit in that way. Let me see, the things that I want to do and to do. Well, it didn't work out like that. From one thing to the next, I didn't. And so I started connecting to the individuals, the people. Well, when I went to the town, the first thing that I saw was that the place was so clean. I have been all of many parts of Africa. I've yet to go to South Africa yet, but I've been to East Africa, West Africa, and uh, I've never seen an African country that clean. Everything, the garbage, everything was organized. Everyone took pride in their work. Even the street sweepers had jackets that showed who they were and what they did, and they wore it with pride. And so that's why there's not a revolution there. And that's why the people live in harmonies, because whenever wars are started, it's because some people are hungry. Some people they don't have work, they don't have money. Through the genocide, the people of Rwanda have come back to the understanding of forgiveness. So as Imakas expressed to me, that when she moved to Rwanda, she wanted to find a place in the world, in the universe, in her consciousness, that she would make a difference. That's the kind of woman she is. That's why I love her. We have so much connection in that way. And so she bought some land, and set up a shop, a business where the women are sewing. She taught women who did not have jobs, who were widows of the genocide, and they didn't have any jobs, they didn't have any training. So she set up this and started training the women how to make different things: clothes, fanny packs, aprons, pocketbooks, backpacks, all types of things they're making, they're sewing. And they're selling this to tourists or to people in general. And so they're having an income, and that was it. So she said, she touched my heart when she said, well, one of the things that really stuck in her mind, and when she told me, I'm paraphrasing here, she said that in the village where she has this uh, factory of these women who are working, I think she has like 20 women now. She asked the women when she first met one woman, how is it that you're getting over this? What went on between the two different groups of your people? The woman said to her, and I'm paraphrasing, she said, no, I'm going too quick. The lady was saying that she asked someone in the village who was from the opposite group, could he be their godchild? Can they be the godparent of their child? And that was the thing that Imaka said that she had to ask her. Well, how could you forgive the people who killed your family? And the woman said something to the effect that if I did not forgive, we would not heal, we would not live. That blew her mind, and it blew mine, because in that moment I was like, what? That is no show. That's no unconditional love kind of thing. That's some heavy stuff. That the same people that killed your relatives, you now turn around and ask them, can you be in their family and expand their family? That is love. That is forgiveness. And then, as Spirit had it, to deepen my understanding as to how these people are moving through life, the young man who's Imacus's driver that took us all over, he shared his story with me, that when I asked him, how did this genocide affect his family? He said, my mother, my father, my sister, and my brother were all killed, and I was a twin. This young man is so positive every day. I said, what? He said, yes. And he said he was 3 years old and he hid, and somebody found him, and that's how he was not killed as well. That's that. Take a minute and soak that in. No family. And so today, he found a lady that he knew. He said for 12 years they had been in school together, and then they got married. They have twin girls. And he says, I started my new family. Can you imagine that? So I asked him, I said, so do you have a picture of your family? Do you remember your mother and your father? He said, no. I said, did you have pictures? He said that when they killed my relatives, they set the house on fire. That just broke my heart, but it made me connect to the fact that the resilience of soul, of the human love for just understanding that the obstacle is not our enemy, and that when we recognize that there's more to life, that then we will heal when we find forgiveness. That changed my whole perspective of my entire life. So when I went to the museum, and the museum, it was horrific, because you get to use the thing in your ear, and you can they recorded everything to let you know the different phases of this war and the different phases of how. And I remember very well how the UN didn't do anything. The United States did not. And being an American, I was like, okay, so what are we going to do? They didn't do anything. So that's when we started praying at the temple and doing libations and making offerings to that somewhere the universe will hear our plea. And so when I went in, there's a room that they have dedicated to the massacre of the children. I couldn't go in there. I did go into the garden, and when I stepped into the garden, I just started crying. My soul just reached out to say, how could human beings be so evil, so bad to each other? These are people who, uh, another lady I met when I went, I had to go to the clinic with a friend of mine, and I was speaking to a woman. She was waiting to get a chest x-ray, and she said she had heart trouble, and she said ever since the the events of 92, she said I developed problems with my heart. And I was like, oh my gosh. So the universe are giving me all of these examples of these things. Because she asked me first, am I waiting for my friend? And I said yes. And she said, did she go to a chest x-ray? And I said yes. She said, that's where I'm going, because I have to have them. Because, and she says, and my nerves is so bad. That's 30 years ago, 31 years ago. So she lives it. She's a widow. Her husband was killed. And she told me about how they ran into the church yard. They told them to come into the church, and that's where they were killed. And today, even sometimes when they're digging new ground, like for a house and buildings, they're still finding body parts. That's horrendous. So when I stepped into the garden, I just started bawling because I couldn't understand how inhuman we can be as human beings to each other, to our neighbors, to our friends, to our buddies. Because someone said that their faces were different, their noses were different, and that was a judgment that they made. Look up the whole, and it's more than an incident. It was 250,000 people were murdered. 250,000 people. That's 250,000 people were murdered. And so in that moment, after I finished feeling it, then I started getting a headache, and I said, I have to leave. I have to go. So I left, got back in the car. I don't even remember getting back to the mountain where we were staying, because the home that I was staying is beautiful hill where Batala just lives. In the morning, I just see the mist. And some of you have seen pictures on my Instagram and my Facebook where the people live on a hill, and they walk up the hill every morning and walk down the hill. They have their gardens. It was so inspiring, but I don't remember even getting when I got home. But it took me a minute to recover from that feeling, from just feeling that loss. And so I said, I'm feeling sorry for stuff that I'm going through, that I didn't get to go here or there as I had planned. But more than that, when I went on vacation this year, every year in November, I go away to just take a month off, to just recalibrate my head. And so this year it has been very, very, very hard for me this year, because I was working very much. We did a lot of initiations back to back. And my work as a teacher comes with knowing, hoping, doing what you know is best, but nonetheless, you have to face the fact that everyone's journey is different. And I say that to say that in this year, I've had a lot of of very active, busy, busy getting the initiations, get the training done, training the teachers to take over some of the programs that I've been doing over the years. This has been a year that I had to shift and say, I can't do this anymore like this. So I've had to move. So the year became, it was very, very hard for me. Physically, it was very demanding. Mentally, emotionally, it was very demanding. And so I was asking myself, what is happening in my life? Things are just moving away. People are moving, leaving me, going to different places. But our relationships have changed. Important, what I thought was important relationship between me and some of the students changed drastically. Those were things that I was going through. And so when I got to the realization that the things that I'm worrying about has nothing to do with God in terms of who I know manifests itself through me. So living on that mountain, Obatala taught me, showed me how we cannot put ourselves in a position of not doing our own healing work. And so this opportunity took me into looking at many of the things that the way that I've been doing them and saying, well, can I change? Should I change? Am I doing it wrong? Should I have done this better? And most of the time when I get a reading from my Babalawo or from my Ialosha or from whomever it is, the card readings, whomever, because I get readings from different my new astrology, it's always saying continue doing what you're doing, how you're doing. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. How am I doing it? And I'm getting a different result from what I planned. But that's God. Obatala took me on that mountain and taught me and showed me the wonderfulness of the universe and the goodness of God, the greatness of God. Because while I'm thinking about, oh, this is it, and I could have done, or wish, or coulda, woulda, the entitlement, that's selfishness. My job, my duty is to do what it is that I do, how I do it. And I've been doing it long enough to know that it works. And if my consultations and my teachers and my supporters are saying, you're doing it, I must continue to do it and get attached to it. That was major for me. It felt like just all of everything just came out from my soul. And then I woke up one morning and I saw someone wrote on one of the social media. It took me, that just shifted me, and I'm going to read it. Someone had this on. No, this is not my statement. This is a statement that shifted my life. It said, "Your capacity to allow people to live a truth completely opposite to yours, without shutting off your compassion for them, is a reflection of how powerful your love is." That was written for me that morning. Let me say it again. Your capacity to allow people to live a truth completely opposite to yours, without shutting off your compassion for them, is a reflection of how powerful your love is. I went to school there. To continue to love and to know and to see people doing things completely different that you would have expected. Completely the way that you would not even imagine. And be able to and accept without shutting off the compassion from them is a reflection of the love that I have. That, I was like, whoa. And that's why I wanted to have this tonight, is to let us see how when we acknowledge and realize and take responsibility for changing our lives and the things that we're doing in our lives, then everything changes. In that moment, I felt nothing but love, complete love for the internal world, for my life, for who I've become, for who I have worked, how hard I worked last year, and how blessed I am to have had people to trust me with their life, trust me with their spiritual expansion, trust me with the things. That's a blessing. That's God's grace. And I live from that. That shifted my whole thing. I was just in just Obatala. Love just manifested in that moment. In all of the moments, to be able to talk to people who can forgive the people who killed their relatives, to be able to look at yourself and see your imperfection and accept it and say that no, my holding on to grudge and to hating these people who hurt me in this war is my capacity to love, is to just know that these people who killed my relatives, I have to love them, and until I shift and forgive them, I will not be able to be a human because I will be just as evil as they were. That So when I went to Rwanda thinking that I was going to see and to feel sorry for these people and that, I have nothing but gratitude for the strength that they have. I went into the hospital, as I said, with a friend of mine, and the hospital was so clean. The doctors were so helpful, brilliant doctors, young doctors. And that's one of the things that we're lacking. And I know in America, we need new doctors. We need young doctors. So if you're students and you're thinking of a career, we need doctors, especially when it comes to birthing, to babies, to pediatricians that are interested in black and brown people. These people, unbelievable. There are no shortages of men. You know, here we're saying, oh, we don't have that many men. There are men all over Rwanda doing their work. The policemen, they were just so endearing and kind and helping you without you feeling, oh my gosh. Powerful, powerful people learning a new way of being by forgiving and finding God's grace. Many countries all over the world, especially Africa, that we have all of this war going on because there are outsiders coming in to take the resources and bringing guns in for us to fight amongst each other and then taking all of the resources. Need to learn from that. Need to learn from Rwanda. Powerful, powerful, clean downtown, modern cities, just amazing. And the blessing of this, I know, is because I think it's 70%, 69% of the government is ran by women. The parliament, the judges, all of that are females. So there are laws that cover, that help women, not only the widows, but the young women, to encourage them. The music, that for me, because if you know, I love music, and that for me was just so cleansing, because I know East African music is usually men are asking their women, oh, my heart is breaking, I don't have you, please come home, come back to me, I need I love my wife. Is That's just the way that it is in the music. In Congo is the same thing. And so the young man was translating to me, and all of the music, most of the music was about, oh, my heart is broken, I need my woman, I can't live without women, they are the light of my life, blah blah blah, I need someone to hug and to feel soft. Amazing. I got back to America and I looked and I was listening. As soon as I got into the car, no, when I got home, because the car my son brought me and he was playing some nice chill music, got into my house and started putting on the music. All of it was the women talking about, I need you, baby, come back to me. The women were begging the men. Complete shift in paradigm. That was just unbelievable. It blew my mind. I didn't realize that it was that drastic right then. And we're not talking about me getting home and running into Karen as soon as I got into the immigration. So we're not even talking about that. Just the music alone and the way that I'm listening to the music now in between the Christmas carols. It's about women chasing the men, women undressing themselves to be attracted to men, to search for the men, to find them, to beg, to have even titles for being a woman in their life without being married. Complete different, complete different perspective. So it was deep. It was deep. So the things that happened to me is I was able to get the grace and the understanding that by shifting what I thought I was supposed to be receiving and who I thought I would be, and this trip turned out to be the most powerful, transformative, God bestowing its grace upon me, bestowing its grace upon me by knowing that obstacles are not our enemy. Look at the obstacle, shift the paradigm, come from gratitude and forgiveness, and then things will manifest itself. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And so now, as we move into what it is, or so how to the little tidbits and tools that I give every year in preparation to step into the greatness of 2024, the upcoming year, I step into it and letting us know that there's some things that we can do. As we said earlier, look at whatever you're going through now as a jump start you to forgive, to be grateful. Write down spiritually, mentally, financially, and emotionally how you are grateful for 2023. So, spiritually, write down spiritually what are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? And it's going to shift. Mentally, so spiritually, look back at your readings. Look at your consultations, look at your forecasts, look at your astrology, look at any of the things that you've done. And if you have been any of the people that have received readings from me or received consultations throughout the year, look at your readings spiritually and look back and where and how the blessings have come and how you can keep doing it. Go back, get your notebooks, look in there. And so what we could do in preparing for that is go back, look at it, pour libation, meditate for at least 30 minutes in front of your altars, your sacred space. Prepare food for your ancestors of gratitude. That's one of the things I did today is I made Obatala, his favorite meal for me is rice pudding, to tell him thank you for taking me to this mountain and thank you for letting me see that I have the capacity and the willingness to allow people to live a true, completely opposite of mine without shutting off myself, from shutting off my compassion to their reflection and to the situation. So, spiritually, look at your readings, go back, pour libation in front of your ancestors. Offer them some food and be grateful. Say, thank you for what I've been through this year spiritually. Thank you for being able to afford the rituals that I did. Thank you for bringing the people in my life that spiritually supported me. The next thing now is mentally. How can you go and find the gratitude in looking back at 2023 with gratitude and forgiveness? Mentally, every night before you go to bed, write down exactly what it is that you want to do the next day and ask your Ori, your head, to open your spirit to receive all of the information that you're going to receive that day. All of the influences be through your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, your throat. Bring those things to you as you get prepared for 2024. Mentally be prepared in gratitude, thanking your Ori, thanking your head for allowing you to look at your readings, see the greatness of it, and now mentally prepare yourself for the 2023. 2024, ask yourself, those are the things you write down. What is it that you want to see for 2024, and start focusing on it and preparing yourself, because as I said, this is going to be a huge year coming up. Whatever it is going to be big. If you will come into it with positivity, it's going to be positively unbelievably successful. If you come into it feeling as a victim, then it's going to get even bigger. So this is a year for us to do a lot of head feedings, cleansings, so that our minds will be clear, so that when obstructions come, we can say, well, that's not me. I didn't attract that. That's just an energy passing through, looking for something to stick onto, and it's not going to stick on me. And then you have financially. Look at your life, what it is that you want to do financially. Be in gratitude of how you were blessed this year, how your finances shifted, and then use that, negative or positive, in compelling you to do differently next year. And it's very, very important for us to donate financially to your favorite charity or to others that are in need. Tithing is a formula, is a scientific formula that if you give, you will receive. Donate. Tithing is a blessing. It's so powerful when you can give to someone, because the blessing comes when they receive it and they say, God bless you, or you save them. You feel like, oh my gosh, yes, I made a difference. Or the person that received it said, thank you, that person that did this for me. It's beautiful. So financially, every month, look back now and look how each month you did well, and you came and you were able to manage your bills. And if you didn't, someone helped you and your finances. And then physically, you want to make yourself a list of the things that you know that you want to change in your life physically. If you want to commit to more exercises, if you want to commit to doing your yoga in the morning, if you want to commit to doing a walking, making sure that you're eating the things that are going to nurture you. Make a commitment that this year you're going to feed your spirit through your mouth. And then emotionally, surround yourself with people this new year. Surround the people who are going to encourage you in a positive way and to have a positive outlook. This is a good time to go back to your friends and thank them for the new year. Thank them for what they've done this year, 2023. And so you're looking forward to the kind of friends that's going to support you this year. So this is a good year. We just covered this in our IISK classes. That November is the month that we do partnering, Ibeji, and we cover the whole extent of how we partner, how we show up in relationships, how we have divine partners, not only Egbe, but the you that is always connectedly, knowingly and unknowingly, to some other energy, and that's make you a twin reflection. And so emotionally, surround yourself now. Start finding places, people who are going to support your your expectation, your intentions. This is a good time now to do some rituals as well. So some of the rituals that we've done every year is in December. We say get a new broom. Many people don't have a broom, but change your vacuum cleaner bags. Take those out so that you can start off the new year with new dirt, new dust, and new things. So cleaning out your house is a must. So find this is a time for cleansing your house. You can make a mixture of ocean or lake water. You can use some frankincense oil and use that to cleanse your floor, your carpeting, your your home. Vacuum it, sprinkle it, and then vacuum it as you're praying. You can go to the river. One of the things that I also ask is it expresses that you can go to an ocean or a lake and dress in white. Make a list of the things that you want to reflect upon you and give thanks for life. So the things that you want in this new year, write them down. Go to the bank of a river or sea, approach it with a sense of reverence and thank the body of water for the existence, and give you thanks and give your thanks to the reflective ability of the water as a mirror of your life. So you're going to look into the water and affirm what you wrote, the things that you want. Proceed to pour into the water some molasses or some honey or some rum, or you can even have 7 white flowers. And as you pluck the petals from the flowers, you call the name of your ancestors, your angels, your protective guides, and you continue to pray for your family and loved ones. With this act of thanksgiving, sit on the bank and meditate or visualize yourself surrounded by a blue light. And for you that live in an area that is really cold, bundle up and sit 5 minutes. That's all. It doesn't take a half hour, just 5 minutes to give the act of thanks to the lake, and you look into it. Look into the water and speak it. With this act of thanksgiving, you sit on the bank and meditate and visualize yourself surrounded by a blue light. When you finish your meditation, write down the things that have been given to you during the meditation. Be specific, the number, the color, all of that, and take that home and look at it and set the intention for the new moon that's coming up in a few days. The new moon is coming. This is the time that you set your intentions that you want to happen for the full moon that's coming up. That's 2 rituals that we've given you. Another ritual that you can do is take 3 small paper bags, put 3 coins in each one, along with a handful of popcorn and 3 pieces of candy. Pray into each bag and thank the energy of Eshu, Elegba, for the year that is leaving, for all that Elegba has done for you, the doors that Elegba, Eshu, has opened for you. And then you close the bags tightly and you twist the tops and you proceed to clean yourself. So pass them over your aura as you ask Eshu to open the roads of opportunity for you to receive all that is your divinely yours in this coming new year. After this, you take the 3 bags and you drop them each at a crossroad for Eshu. Very easy, simple. Does not you doing this for yourself. There's also, during this time, we encourage you to go ahead and start doing a cleansing, even if it's a winter solstice cleanse for just 3 days or 7 days, of just making sure that one of the meals for the day is a juice, one of the meal is a big salad, and meditation with each meal. Meditate, visualize yourself for the things that you want. So once you've cleansed yourself and you ask Eshu to open the roads for this new year, you throw these in different at the crossroad. There's also a remedy that if you're feeling cranky, irritable, or caused by tension because your life right now is so tense and you're thinking about what if this new year meets me with the same place, it's not. Shift and know that it's going to be different. The vibration alone of the number 8 is allowing you to be expansive. So here's a remedy to alleviate crankiness and irritability that you can burn in your house. You're going to get 4 drops of juniper oil, 2 drops of lavender oil, and 2 drops of sage oil. And you're going to burn this in your aromatherapy lamp or oil burner, and let that infuse your spirit as you before you go to sleep, to remove that irritability. And of course, above all, is do not watch television or anything that is going to put you in a sense of tension for at least an hour before you go to bed, so that when you go, you can connect to your ancestors. You can connect. This is a time also that every night before you go to sleep, connect to your ancestors and thank them for 2023. Thank them, specifically prayer for that, and asking them to open the roads for you. This is a time also for you to really, really understand the beauty of forgiveness, the beauty of giving back, the beauty, the power of shifting from feeling that you're in a victim position. One of the things that I did when I went to Rwanda was I was feeling kind of like I wanted to go and visit the village where the women that Imacus has is teaching, and I didn't get to go because different things came up, and I was feeling like, oh my gosh, I wish I'd gone to really just see those women and look in their faces. And when it didn't happen, we were talking, and Imacus told me that one of the things that they're doing is since the holidays are coming up, they're trying to make more money. And I said, well, I can bring some things home to sell because I always try to bring something from the motherland for us. And so she said, yeah, we're making fanny packs and we're making aprons. And I brought those back as a way of a fundraiser for them. I purchased them for us to sell here as a fundraiser for those women. And in that moment, when I started counting them and seeing the work that they did, these are women that never sewed, didn't know how to sew. What did I do with it? I think I put them away. Didn't know how to sew. These women did perfect work. And so I brought some with me. And so you will be able to go on my website beginning in, I think it's tomorrow. You will be able to order them. They're made beautiful, handmade, and you will be able to know that. And the thing that made me feel so good is what I was realizing I didn't have to meet those women because I was like, oh, I gotta go meet them. If I was like, you don't have to meet them in person. You're meeting their spirit through this. Can you imagine how when they received that money that I gave them for these things that I bought from them, how they felt? That's God's grace that I live by. So those people coming home and say, oh my God, we sold some things and they went to America. Oh, God bless the woman that sells. I live by that. I live by that. That's my go-to. When I went to Tanzania last year, I brought some stuff back to help the brother. And it's helping us because we get a feel and a touch of people from a place of really working to help themselves, and you can be a part of that dream. So I have those things for sales, and we're asking you to please go also to as a way of giving back and helping me and helping the the institute for the work that we've been doing. I'm going to ask you to go to givebutter.com temple fundraiser. I'm going to put that down because we have the big live-a-thon that I know y'all heard that's going on the 10th of this month to expand the work that we're doing, open the roads for more healing, for more love, for more coming together in person, where we'll be doing the ancestors' work. So we need your help. I am asking for your assistance. Join us on the 10th, where you can come in, buy tickets to support the Institute. We're going to be giving away gifts. We're going to be raffling things. We're going to be doing all types of things. Just come to donate, to contribute, to just give thanks for the work that I've done and we have done here at the Ilesha Obatala Yemonja Ministry under yeyefini.com and Yeyefini and IIASK, the International Institute of African Studies and Knowledge. So I'm going to try to cover this thing, put it in, okay, I'm going to put it here, send it for you so that you will be able to here it is, I have it, that you'll be able to give back. If ever I've ever done a reading for you, if ever I've ever done anything to help you and to help others that you know that required your help, be it roots readings, children's readings, workshops, and this is it there. This is where you can go and get the fundraiser. There it is. I just put it in there. I put it in givebutter.com temple fundraiser. And if you go there and press that, it will give you all of the information. Please join us on the 10th. It's going to be fabulous. We have people performing and doing all kinds of good stuff. It's my first give-a-thon, telethon. where we're going to come together to donate. And that's the way that we're going to make it in the world. I remember when we were building Oyotunji, we never asked for a grant. Everyone was doing their work, doubling up and what it was required. And we can do this in building, and that's how nations are done. You don't beg, you don't ask the government, because sometimes their intention is not the same as you have. So doing it by your own bootstrap is always good. So I'm asking you here to help us at the temple. And some of you have seen a lot of the work that we've been doing. We're asking you to help us to expand, to do better, bigger, grander, where we can come and do once a month full moon rituals. When the weather gets warm, we'll be doing a big bonfire, full moon rituals. We're going to be doing new moon rituals. That has been unbelievable. The things that I asked for in the last 3 new moons have come out exactly the way that I asked. So write yourself a note on the new moon. Give yourself permission to ask for big things, not just little things, and they will manifest. People, relationships, health, all of those things we can ask. So please come to our fundraiser, thegivebutter.com temple fundraiser on the 10th. We'll be on from 11. It's going to be like 7 hours, from 11 to 5. Yes, so I'll be there in person. Come hang out with us. And this is something new for me, to be able to breathe and ask for help in the way that it's really needed and not assumed. So I am asking to come, and we'll be doing prayers for those who need prayers, where we have a segment in there that people who require special prayers will be doing that. And I'm going to ask some of my Reiki people if they will come in and do some Reiki. And, on the audience, I'm just ideas coming. I've never done this before, where we are actually live. So please post a link to the donate in the chat. I did that. Please post a link to the chat. A new mindset it is. Chat. Yeah, it's coming in. I put it in there. Yeah, you'll see it. Givebutter.com. I've put it in the chat for both Facebook and for YouTube. Oh, the person said, I see it. Yes, Angela Lawson said that she put it in there. So join me in just knowing that you are going to have an amazing new year, because the universe is working and is collaborating with you. Just the numerological year of number 8, the vibration coming out of 7, where you went in, you looked at yourself, you found all of these things. Some of them are negative. This is the time to shift it, turn it into something positive, and throw it into the universe and be ready to receive it. Clean yourself off with the Eshu. Go to the river, sit to the lake, meditate, give thanks to your ancestors, feed them leading up to this new year. Thank them for this year. This has been a great year, because if you're here, you had a great year. If you're not here, I'm sure you had a great year and you are in the spirit world doing greater things. But the fact that you're alive right now is a reason to give thanks. So I thank the spirits of the mountains in Rwanda for giving me a new perspective of how to be in a place of God's grace, how to receive God's grace, and how to understand the connection that we have doesn't have to be in person. The act of giving and sharing gives you continual grace from God to give. So just as I brought these things back to sell as a fundraiser, the people that are receiving the money and will receive the money and that have received the money from me are sending me nothing but love. Can you imagine? I did the same thing when I went to, and I shared with this last year when I went to Tanzania and Zanzibar. I overpaid someone for some things, some little bracelets that I was selling. And I was beating up on myself, like, how come you didn't even think it through? You paid him too much, and he should have come back and give the money back. Oh my gosh! And in that moment, right then, I said, you know what? Earlier, I had heard them saying that this period is the beginning of the Hajj period in Tanzania for the people who live from just arts and crafts that they sell to the tourists. And I was just felt so touched. I felt so sorry. And in that moment, I said, you paid that man all of that money. He did not come back to say that you made a mistake. In that moment, you probably gave that man enough money to take care of his winter needs. I felt so good. Lio was with me, and we just like marveled at God's love. In that moment, it came so quick. Once I came out of saying, "Oh, he should have gave me the money back." In that moment, I said, "What if I just saved the family? I just fed somebody." When you are grateful and not come from victimhood, and that's one of the things my mother, who's 103, God willing, she'll be 104 in February. My mother, when we were growing up in Panama, we weren't rich, but anytime somebody came by our house, we always had extra. My mother would take a little plate of food from whatever she had and give them something to eat. And she always talks about that. She says that I know I'm blessed because I always help people. No matter what, anybody would pass by our house, we'd be like, oh God, here she go again. And my mother's living to 103 and did not even know her mother because her mother passed when she was a baby. But God's grace, those people that my mother used to give food to and take off of our plate to give to them because they didn't have, has caused her to be here and to see her grandchildren and her great grandchildren. So give back and join us in knowing that you're going to have a wonderful, wonderful year. Put the things and join yayafini.com. Become a friend of the Institute. Come to some of the classes. We're opening up this year. You can come in person. Those of my students come in person to do worship service for all of the festivals. We're going to have a phenomenal men's festival this year. The men are working on it as we speak. We have the Oshun Festival that's going to be public. We're going to have the Obatala Festival this year if Obatala says that we could. And we're going to have the Ifa. All of that is going to be happening. So opening up to expanding the temple. The temple building is there. We need to repair and to expand the kitchen area so that when you come, you'll be able to hang out. We're going to have, hopefully once a year, we're going to have people that you can come and camp out overnight and do movie nights. It's going to be awesome. So I look forward to it. Look forward to seeing you, and be blessed and know that I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting my ministry, supporting my work by being genuinely kind to me, and for loving me in spite of my imperfections. Because sometimes my imperfections is the perfect thing that I need to know and to do, to grow and to change. So thank you very much. Thank you. Modupwe, Modupwe, Modupwe. May the ancestors continue to guide us, to empower us, and give us peace. I don't see any questions. If anybody has any questions they want. Everybody's just saying peace, alafia, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody's wishing some good things here. Thank you very much. No questions. Well, we're just going to say good night. Abundant blessings to each and every one. As someone said, abundant blessings. We're going to have a fabulous year. And don't forget to sign up for your New Year readings. That's important. Don't forget to sign up for your New Year readings from me or from whoever you get your divination from. This is the time you want to go ahead and start. I'm going to open up some dates on my platform that you'll be able to get that. Someone says, "Hi, yeah, I have a question. How, yeah, Fidi, how do you do Ebo libation? The way that you pour libation, you can go on my YouTube and on the you can go to YouTube and it could show you how to pour libation when is demystifying the ancestral celebration, or also you can look on my website and purchase the book Household Yoruba Household Guide for Spiritual Wellness, and that gives you a little prayer and how to pour libation. Libations, you're going to get water, you're going to pour it, you're going to bless the earth, you're going to bless the world, you're going to bless your ori, your head, you're going to bless your ancestors, and you're pouring this libation as you're praying to the ancestors and to yourself or to the forces of nature, and that's how you pour libation, you call on it. So make sure that we're doing that. The libation. So I hope that answered your question. You can go on my YouTube channel and subscribe, and I have a number of different baths and things that you can do, and showing you how to pour libation by saying fresh water, fresh house, fresh road, and fresh gatekeeper, and fresh my head. Ashe. Thank you. I think that was the only question that we had. So God bless you, everyone. We've had a nice group of people here. So give back, givebutter.com. The fundraiser, the address is in there. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think I'm going to put it again. Paste. Okay, and I just put it down again. Okay, y'all have a blessed evening. Okay, Odabo.